Hey everyone, my name is David Tully. I'm a local real estate agent here in the area. Today we're going to talk about all the costs associated with living in the Reno area. If you like this content and want to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below. And if you have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments below or just reach out directly. I'll leave my information on the screen and in the description in the video. All right, let's talk about utilities. Everybody's favorite question. They want to know what the average cost is for power and gas, the average cost for water. And Reno's average cost per kilowatt hour is right around 11 to 12 cents. And to compare it to California, in many areas, you're looking at anywhere from 18 to 22 cents per kilowatt hour. So fairly reasonable compared to California and many other states, especially if you live in Hawaii. That's ridiculously expensive. But to give you an idea on what it would cost here is I have a 2,100 square foot two-story house that is about a little over a year old, and my average power and gas bill is anywhere from $110 to $160 a month. 160 is on the very high end, if we're really cranking the heat in the winter, or really, turning on the AC, cranking it up in the, in the summer when it gets kind of hot. I would say that's pretty average, about a 110 to 160. And if you're curious about water, it's fairly cheap. In the winter months where my sprinkler system and drip system's not running, you're looking at about $20 to $30. And during the middle of summer, when my sprinkler system is going 3 times a week, morning and the evening, drip system for my grass, my trees, all my bushes and shrubs, you're looking at about $50 to $60 depending on the size. My lot size is about 6,000 square feet, not too big, but from the back of my house to the fence I have about 38 feet. So I do have a decent amount of grass and trees and bushes to water. So overall, I would say the utility costs in Reno are fairly reasonable compared to many other states. So if you have any other questions about utilities, just let me know. All right, let's talk about everybody's favorite topic, the Reno housing market. The Reno housing market is extremely competitive. If you're thinking about moving to the area and purchasing a home, you certainly can, but you need to be prepared. We're experiencing overbidding. We're experiencing 5 to 20 offers on a house. And this is in all price ranges, from anywhere from $300,000 to $1 million plus. We're seeing 5 to 20 offers and $5,000 to $50,000 above the list price. So it's extremely competitive in the resale market, but not only the resale market, even the new home market here is extremely competitive because they just can't build homes fast enough. So, if you're looking at $300,000 to $400,000 range for a resale house, our inventory is extremely limited. We're having issues with supply and demand. Our supply is so low and our demand is so high that the prices just keep skyrocketing. And a house could have sold for $320 a few months ago, and maybe it's selling for $340, $350 now. So our market's really just gone up, and you just need to be prepared when you're purchasing a house in the area. Also, if you're considering purchasing a new home in the area, it might not be as competitive as the resale market, but it really just depends on what builder you're going to. Lennar is doing a first come, first serve, but they might be releasing 4 to 8 lots on a Saturday once a month. And there could be some people waiting outside in an RV for a few days. And D.R. Horton is doing highest and best offers on X date. So in that sense, you are bidding on those new houses. Toll Brothers has been fairly reasonable. They're doing a lottery system. So if they put in 10 people into the lottery and they have 8 lots, you have a decent chance depending on what part of town you're in. The Toll Brothers community in Sparks is has fewer people interested versus, the community in South Reno called Caramella Ranch and Regency, but all very good communities. So if you have any other questions about the resale market or some new home builders that I haven't mentioned here, just leave a comment down below and I'd be happy to answer them for you. All right, let's talk about the Reno rental market. The market here is currently very strong. We have a lot of builders building brand new apartment buildings. I know not everybody's favorite, but the demand and the amount of people moving to the area is just not sustainable. So we have to build these apartment buildings for the people moving to the area. You can expect to pay anywhere from about $1,200 to about $1,600, $1,800 for a 1-bedroom in these newer buildings. Some of them are upscale, luxury, single apartments. And you can definitely find 1-bedroom apartments on the lower end of $900 to $1,100, $1,200, but those options are going to be fairly limited, and just not too many great options for you there. If you're looking to get better value, I would highly recommend getting a couple friends, or if you're with your family, try to get into a single family home. Most of them are going to make you sign a 1-year lease. Even most apartments will make you sign a 1-year lease, unless you want to pay a higher month-to-month rate, or if you want to sign a lease for 6 months at least. But most require a 12-month lease, so just keep that in mind. And if you're looking for a single family home, I would say the average in Reno is probably in the 1,800 range. And if you're looking in South Reno, Damani Ranch area, you're probably looking at 2,000 and up for a single family home. And if you're looking for a single family home in Sparks, I would say you're in the 1,700 to 1,900 range as well, depending on area. There's such a big range on neighborhoods and the size of homes, so it really just depends there. So if you have any other questions about the Reno rental market, just leave a comment down below and I'd be happy to answer them for you. All right, so you're thinking of moving to the area, but you're curious about daycare costs. It's a very good question, very valid question. And while I don't currently have kids of my own, I did some research and I talked to a few friends of mine with kids, and you're gonna expect to spend around $900 to $1,400 depending on the type of service that you want for full-time daycare. And that's unfortunately not the biggest obstacle you'll face. The biggest obstacle is finding an opening for your child. A lot of these places don't have any openings, or they're not taking new kids. So that might be your biggest issue, just a heads up. We're not too far off. The national average is about $700 to $900 a month for full-time daycare. If you have any other questions about daycare, or if you want me to find out something for you, just let me know. All right, let's talk about entertainment costs. So if you're curious about what it costs to go out on the town for one night, I averaged it out for me and my wife for 2 entrees, tip, and 2 drinks per person. Could be anywhere in the $90 to $110 range. Obviously, if you want to spend less than that, there's many places you can go to spend less than $90, and it's very easy to spend more than $110. Should you go somewhere like a steakhouse or somewhere fancy, no problem. But overall, Reno, compared to cities like Vegas, where you can spend $20, $25 to drink at the club or several restaurants, I would say Reno's cost for entertainment is fairly reasonable. If you have any other questions about a specific place in Reno or other entertainment costs, just let me know. I'd be happy to look into it for you. All right, let's talk about gas prices. I know most people have been getting used to the ridiculously low gas prices due to COVID, but unfortunately gas prices have been going up. Currently in Reno, you can expect to pay about $290, $295, $299 for regular, and anywhere from $320 to $330 for premium. So overall, not too bad, but compared to the national average, we're about 20 to 30 cents higher. And if you happen to be passing through Carson City, which is only about 20 to 25 minutes away from Reno, I would highly suggest filling up in Carson City. It's a lot cheaper than Reno, and you're probably going to be closer to the national average for gas prices in Carson City. So I wouldn't suggest taking a detour out there just to fill up, only if you're passing through. All right, let's talk about taxes, everybody's favorite thing to talk about. So one of your biggest cost savers in Reno or Nevada in general is going to be no state income tax, depending on what state you come from. But there's only 9 states that have no state income tax. So there's a good chance that you're coming from a state that has income tax. So you'll save a decent amount on your taxes there. And if you're curious about the sales tax rate here, it's 8.265% in the Reno area. It's not the highest and it's not the lowest. And one of the most common questions I get is property taxes. David, how expensive are property taxes here? And that's a good question. It really just depends on if you're buying an older resale house or a new house. If you're buying a new house, you're probably looking at about 1 to 1.1% of the purchase price as a good estimation for property taxes. It's going to be a little bit lower for older resale homes. And another great thing about Reno property taxes is if it's a low cap primary residence, that's just a classification they have on the assessor site, you're going to be capped at 3% increases per year. So, which is pretty nice. My property taxes don't go up very much, but that same rule does not apply for, investment properties or rentals. So if you have any other questions about, taxes in Reno, property taxes, just let me know. I'd be happy to answer them for you. If you have any other questions about cost of living in Reno, make sure to leave them down in the comments below or shoot me an email, and make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.